Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Late Night Magic. I am Gene FitzMagic, joined as always by my late night compañero, Piano Rob. What's up, my man?
Not much, Gene. Ooh, I like that sound.
You got that echo going, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah, it's making me dizzy. I think I'm just gonna might trigger a seizure. Guys, awesome show tonight. We have one I'm very excited for. You know me, I love when we have the comedians in the house. Jade Catta-Preta in the house from the new show that will be debuting tomorrow on HULU, Hotties. So we'll get to talk to her about stand-up, Hotties, talk soup. There's so much things, so many things that we can talk to her about. And I'm excited for it. But other than that, how you doing, my man?
Dude, I have no complaints. It's busy, but we know busy's good. Busy's always good for us.
Now, let me ask you a question. She's got the new show Hotties coming out. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I have not watched the trailer yet, Gene. I haven't seen it yet.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. It's like a dating show where they're gonna they cook food during their dating show, but then there's like challenges where they got to eat really hot food.
Okay,
like really like what do they call it? The Colvin? Is it the Colvin scale? What is the scale?
Scoville
scale,
right?
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, not COVID. Scoville, whatever it is.
They gotta. Why'd you say that word, Gene? Now we're out there.
We're flagged. All right, but listen, we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna have Jade Catta-Preta in the house. We're gonna talk all about hot. So let's take a break.
A feeling.
Do you hate yourself and your family, but hate haircuts even more? Introducing the Flowbee Precision Haircutting System. Get that freshly sucked hair you've always dreamed of without leaving the house. You can suck your whole family, mom, sister, and watch Uncle Steve suck himself. Looking good, Steve. The Flowbee Precision Home Hair Cutting System. We suck, so you don't have to.
You don't want to hit the barbershop, get yourself a Flowbee. There you go, right there. Guys, without further ado, let's put your hands together for our guest, Jade Catta-Preta.
Yeah. Pew, pew, pew,
hello.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, we need an air horn. That's what we need.
I know.
How you doing?
Hi guys. Feeling good, Gene. Piano Rob. Look, good to be here.
I'm enjoying. You know what? I just realized my thing's about to die.
What does that mean?
Fully produced by Patty Puddles. I gotta fix this.
What thing, Gene? You gotta elaborate on what thing. You can't. Is this the start of the interview?
Yeah, what's happening? And this is probably Puddles' fault for sure.
Definitely, Jade. It's definitely Puddles' fault. I'm back. I'm good. It's definitely Puddles' fault. I love the.
We got Cheryl. This is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
I think I've seen some video of Cheryl on your Instagram. I believe
she does not want to be here. She's like photo booth. I'm sorry. Can we say? Can we?
You can curse a little, but just don't celebrate it. I guess we say, right?
I mean, there was a commercial about sucking that you just
it was about sucking your hair though. That was why? What did you think it was about? Speaking of getting a little. I don't know, but we sort of thought it was funny, so I'm like, we got to put that on. We actually have real commercials too, and I figured we got a comedian now, so let's put something funny.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. Talking about pushing the envelope on topics. One of my favorite stand-up bits is the one you have on Instagram where you're talking about bonding with your boyfriend over a three-way, where you're basically bonding over burying the dead body.
Yeah.
Super hilarious. So
we're starting here. This is where we're starting.
You're asking me a question or what?
I'm just saying. I thought it was hysterical. That's what I'm saying.
What are you asking, Gene? What are you getting at to start?
I'm saying because haven't we all been there, right? I mean, we're all in relationships. Haven't we all been there at times where you bond over burying the dead body?
You got to find. You got to find the
bond
person
over something.
Yeah, I've brought this up to my girlfriend before, and she said that if there's ever anything with murder involved, she's like, "I'm turning you in." Like, I'm like, "What?" Wow. She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "No, I'm not getting in trouble for this. You're on your own at that point." I'm like, "Well, I guess it's good to know now that that's where we're at."
Yeah. See, my wife's Colombian, and I think she probably already knows how to handle those kinds of things. So.
She's Colombian. Right. She already has a plan. She's
got a plan for me personally too. Like my disappearance plan is already in her head. I'm sure.
It's in the books.
So Jade, actually, you were South American as well, born in Brazil. When did you come to the U.S.?
Yeah, I moved to Charlottesville, Virginia when I was 12. Oh. Just perfect.
Yeah, right.
So I like to call myself. I like to call myself a Brazilian. You know, like that's like when you get a wax, but it's in the shape of a horseshoe. Like I play both sides.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. That had to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like the most.
And I didn't speak English.
No, Portuguese.
Oh, no, Virginia is super diverse. There's like a ton of different white people. Like different shades of white.
Different shades of beige or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, porcelain, eggshell. Yeah, different white people. So,
oh my God.
It was a weird transition, but I think honestly, it's why I do comedy now, because I didn't speak English, and now it's my kind of my weapon. And so I definitely use that trauma, hopefully for good.
You know, I've heard that before too, where it's almost like people use comedy growing up as almost like their defense system. We've had another guest on before that said the same thing, and it's almost like the way they dealt with having to cope with being different was just using the comedy to kind of to basically either a defense system or a way to like fit in, you know, because everybody loves funny, right?
Yeah, and I was little too, so if somebody beat me up, but I could always like, you know, kind of verbally assault them. So
there you go, right?
Yeah. And then I mean, it's a weapon in that sense, and I'm sure when other people want you around when you're the funny person, everybody, you know, the cool people want the funny person around.
Some people want me around. I definitely have like friends who aren't comics who love bringing me around because the rest of their friends are like in finance and stuff. So they're like, we need to break up the crypto talk.
Jade, almost all of my fraternity was in finance, and I hope that none of them are watching this, but oh my God, some of them are so boring. It's like we were drinking and we were in bands and we were doing stuff in college, and now you're in finance and you're still living in Staten
But they're
Island.
all richer. They're all richer than us. They're all richer than us.
But they don't have as much fun, though. I can tell you that the smile is different. I think me and Gene keep our boyish charm, and the rest of them are old grumpy men.
It's boyish something, at least. Yeah. So, all right. So coming from Brazil, living in Virginia, what would you say formulated your brand of comedy as coming up when you were young?
Man, I don't know. You know, I really didn't want to do comedy when I was young. I really wanted to be on Broadway, and like, I really wanted to do musical theater. And I think comedy I kind of fell into it. Like, I remember there was this play series that happened, and it was like you could audition to be in all these plays, and there was also like an improv troupe they were auditioning for at the same time, and I remember being like, anything but the improv, let me get anything but the improv troupe, and that's the only thing I got. And so I started doing improv really early on in high school, and we'd go to like nurse homes and be like doing improv games, like this comedy troupe. But I actually learned to like love it, and in college I did a lot of improv, and I was really, really into improv. And a lot of comics went to my college. Eliza Schlesinger, I remember seeing them all perform and being like, why would you do this? Like, this seems horrible. Why would you? I'd rather kill a baby. And then I came out here, and I got a job at National Lampoon hosting this like little like online Tosh.0 style show. It was me and Kato Kalin. I don't mean to drop names, but you might recognize him from the O.J. Simpson trial.
Yes. I didn't even know he was still alive. God bless Kato.
Oh, works all the time. He's like a host personality type. Yeah, he's the sweetest. And
could you imagine if that murder never happened? We wouldn't even know who he is. Like,
you gotta use.
It worked out for somebody.
He might have.
He might have
gotten into comedy. He might have gotten into comedy. You know,
I keep hoping Gene just murders somebody, and then I can live off that and host for the rest of my life. Like, I knew the guy who murdered that person.
Unless it's you, Rob, and then nobody.
Hey,
wow.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
You guys
It'll probably be Patty Puddles.
Yeah,
dark
such big
show
dreams. Now. His wife murders us all, and we become somebody. But yeah, I did a show at National Lampoon, and then the main writer, Sandy Danta, who's an incredible comedian as well, was like, you should come to the store with me. And the rest is literally history. I started bartending there like 2 nights later, which is kind of crazy. This long story short, like the bartender who was there left, and I didn't know why, but years later, now I'm in an acting class, and the bartender's in my acting class, the old bartender, and was like, yeah, I booked a sitcom. And so I left. So she hadn't booked that sitcom, I would have never taken her job and then gotten into comedy. So it's
like
pretty
talk
wild.
About a path.
Yeah.
I remember hearing you talk about it once before. And I think you originally were offered like a waitress job, and you were like, no, there's no way I'm doing that. Was that what it was? The waitress?
I was like, I'm not doing it. Yeah, because you've seen the girls there. They have to carry like, you know, because it's a 2-drink minimum. So they're like, and it was just like also my voice projects. I couldn't be like quiet enough to be like, what do you want to drink? you know, yeah, it all worked out.
Before we get too far away from it, would you go into more theater stuff if it came up in the future?
That's what I mean, I have sides right here, right now. It's
all of that.
Theatrical stuff is like really where my full heart is, and I really want to, but it's just hard. I mean, it's just hard to get into it. I had a rhythm for a while before the pandemic. I got really good at auditioning in the room, and now we have to make self-tapes.
I've heard everybody says that.
Yeah.
Clicking for me, and so I'm trying. Yeah, like Broadway is the ultimate dream. I would love to have like a one-woman comedy musical, type of thing with dancing and naked boys, and all this stuff.
All comedians want to do musical theater. It's just I joke about that all the time. Like, and whenever you see many.
I don't think Jezelnik is like.
I can't even see. Right? Can you picture him strutting around?
I feel like once a comedian gets a little bit of a budget, there's a musical number in whatever they put out if they can do it, and I love it. It's always hysterical, whatever it is.
So now
I
you
think
actually
there's something to it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is you actually perform in both English and Portuguese, correct?
I do. Yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of Portuguese stuff. I mean, COVID. I feel like COVID like wiped everything. Kind of clean slate again. But yeah, I was in Brazil doing a lot of stand-up before the pandemic. I filmed a documentary about it that nobody has bought. So if somebody's looking to buy a documentary that's done, buy it.
I'm maybe me and Piano Rob will buy it.
We are, you know what? You know what we're gonna do? Not only are we gonna buy one, Gene, I think we should give one away as a giveaway.
No, I think she's talking about buy the actual project, right? Not the DVD.
Yeah, I'm talking about buying my documentary. There's no DVD. There's no.
Oh,
sorry,
you meant,
Jade, I'm sorry. He's new here.
When you said it was done,
he's new to the business,
Jade.
You
said it was done. I thought done meant done. No, done meant done. Like
no,
you have
it's done like in a hard drive, but a network has not taken it on.
Okay,
so I'm waiting, and I'm probably just gonna end up releasing it myself. Yeah. But yeah, so Portuguese, English, a little bit of both. And I also did a musical that I recorded last year that I'm releasing on September 1st on YouTube. So make sure to check that out.
In like 2 weeks from when this is airing. Now, is it different sets? When you do both English and is it different sets, or is it just basically translated comedy? I don't know how does it work? Does it translate usually?
It's not translated. I try to do it that way, and people were like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" Sorry, curse again. I have a video in the documentary where I'm doing my first set in Brazil and in Portuguese, and I hadn't spoken fluently with Brazilian people in 20 years, and I am just like eating a big one. Somebody in the audience goes, "What's happening?" And I think the setups are just different. They're in a different place. They're having a comedy boom right now. So it's like the 80s there right now. And so it's like very observational style comedy storytelling. There's not a lot of that weird, like maybe puns and like wordplay. And a lot of my stuff is like kind of like that. And so, yeah, they were confused. And then I figured out how to tell the jokes in a different way, where it's like kind of the same punchline, but you just tell it in a different way. Like it's more of a story that you're telling rather than like a written joke. Like, you said your wife is Colombian.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. The way we speak in Portuguese and Spanish is like kind of backwards, I feel like.
Yeah. That's usually my excuse for getting out of things with her. I'd be like, you must have said it in Colombian or in Spanish.
You must.
Me. You know what I mean?
I just keep collecting the points. I'm like,
she's not over here, right? She's gonna. The chocolate is gonna come flying through any minute.
That's why your computer was unplugged, Gene. That's why she was hoping, make this a 5-minute interview.
Yeah, she's like,
yeah, she's pretty tough. But all right. So, was there a comedian that inspired you? I know you started off to try to be an actress first. That's where your first passion was acting. But then, as you became a comedian, was there a comedian out there that inspired you, that maybe took you under their wing to kind of show you the ropes a little bit?
It's really hard. That's something I'm kind of providing more for women now. But like when I kind of was starting, women were just pretty savage about their spot. So there was not a lot of like female camaraderie when I started. I started when it was like, but Bobby Lee actually really took me under his wing. He was the first comic to ever take me on the road. And he does that a lot for young comics. He's like big on like taking young comics on the road, giving them a chance. I was just on the road with him this last weekend, and it was it's a roller coaster. But like the very first set that I saw that made an impact on me was Margaret Cho. Like in the 90s, she had this special where she was like wearing a full leather suit. And every joke at the time was like about women. Like literally every joke was like, women are dumb. So it was interesting seeing her. And then also Sarah Silverman's special, Jesus is Magic.
Yeah, I don't,
Magic, Jesus is Magic.
Jesus
it was
Magic.
It was HBO special, I believe, right? Was it HBO?
I don't remember what.
I remember it was on a network though, but yeah.
I smoke weed. But I just remember being like, oh my God, a female like talking about poop, and like she had this song where like her vagina sings a song, and I thought, oh my God, like,
and then the
funny.
3-part harmony at the end, it's so good.
Exactly. And just looking at stand-up in a different way, where it's like not the formulaic, like I'm a guy telling this joke. Like it broadened my horizons to be like, oh my God, stand-up can be performative. And I can still take everything I know as an actress and kind of build on that, because I think a lot of people come from a writing background when it comes to stand-up. And I definitely came from a performance background. So like, I would say that my material is probably like not as good as some people's, but I think that if you see my show, you'll still be entertained because it's performance based.
Yeah. But that's what's nice.
Yeah.
That's what's good about it. It's there are many different forms, and that's what's great about it. Is you don't want to always see the same thing. I'm glad that everybody has their different style. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
In the early 2000s when I started. Yeah. It was definitely like, you're this guy or you're not doing stand-up. And now it's almost so niche that it's difficult to sell a show, or it's difficult to sell to people, because there's not like, think about like Eddie Murphy. Everybody, he was like the comic, right? Robin Williams, the comic. Like there's not really those guys anymore. I mean, Chappelle's a huge guy, but he's not really like for everyone. Do you know what I mean? There's not really like one broad category of stand-up anymore. It's so divided. Like you can find whatever you need now.
And that's how it should be.
Well, I don't blame that on comedy. I blame that on society in general. Society's divided on every topic. Comedy is just that next version of splitting everything up. And that's, I don't think it's comedy. I think it's just society, really, because I personally love, to me, there's not one kind of brand of comedy I love. I just love stand-up comedy, and I can watch pretty much everybody as long as they're funny. And me and Rob always say all the time, funny is funny. So as long as you're funny, there's no faking that, right? Funny is funny.
Yeah.
So what's your creative process?
I wish somebody could write for me. My creative process?
Like when you come up with your bits, do you ever just wing it on stage, or do you what's your process on it?
I kind of, I've been a winger for a long time. Like it was kind of like, you're going to be up there in 10 minutes. Like what can you think of that's funny that happened to you today? And then trying stuff out. And if that laugh, maybe sitting down, writing a little bit about it. But then I took a comedy class, which was really good for my ego. And I just finished it. And it was really helpful. I had never really learned how to like structurally write. Like, this is a joke. Like, what's funny about it? Like branching it off. And now I have more written stuff. And I'm applying to late night for the first time after doing stand-up for 14 years. So I don't feel like I'm not really like a standard comedian if you look at my kind of trajectory, but yeah, I'm kind of getting better at like writing stuff, because I think for a long time I was like, if I don't write anything, they can't say that was shitty because she just came up with it in a moment.
Yeah.
So there was this sort of like, she improvised it. That's impressive. Versus like, oh, she really worked on that and it wasn't funny.
Gotcha.
So I'm letting go of that. Yeah, letting go of that a little bit and being like, no, this is funny. And I know because I paid someone to tell me that it was in my class.
You should be laughing right now, everybody. You should be laughing. I did my homework on this show.
I did this. Yeah. But it's hard. It's like, even like when I did Bobby's show this last weekend, I was trying to do the newer, cleaner stuff and it wasn't working. And immediately you escape and you go to the old dirty shit that works. Cause it's you're human and you don't want to, like you have to kind of just be on your feet.
Jade, you know what's interesting about that? Dueling piano world is how I came up, and that has changed so much over the last 2 decades now, let's say. And the same thing, there's some crowds that expected this. It was just this dirty show for so long. Like you're making whatever dumb, dirty jokes in between. That's what people came. And now in most places, except for like, Polk County, Florida over here, it's politically incorrect. You can't do any of that stuff. So it's like, it's funny when you have to weigh out, like even at Disney, people still come up like, play the Pussycat song. And it's like, no, there's kids here and it's a restaurant. Or they still, it's amazing that people are ingrained, and it's easy to go back into that stuff like, oh, well, this isn't working. Here's something super dirty.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. And I used to do really dirty stuff because I just thought that's what was funny. I like making people feel viscerally some way. So whether that makes them like kind of uncomfortable,
cringy, even.
I wouldn't say shock value, but more about like, this isn't even that crazy, but you might not expect it coming from me.
Yes.
Kind of, I think that's what I like. I like that, like, I come out and I'm like, and and then I say like a joke about poop or something, and people are like, "Oh, okay, good. She doesn't want to have sex with my guy. I can relax."
That's interesting. That's an interesting look though, because
women are like,
that's the thing they'll think. They don't want you to be too friendly with their guy. Like a waitress has to go up and they should talk to the female first. Because if you talk to the guy first, you're hitting on the guy. That's so funny.
And that's not something guys have to think about. We have to think about the dynamic of the women in the crowd and like what they'll relate to. And, for a long time, I wanted like the guy comics to like me. And now I just want the women in the audience to like me. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, if I see women laughing, like crying their eyes out over like some joke that feels close to home to them, that's like, I did it. I did I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And they always say in entertainment, it's the women are the ones that you want to impress more, right? Because they're gonna either buy it or their husband/boyfriends are gonna buy it for them, right? So if you can impress the women, you're gold, because at that point you're gonna always have the guys just wanting to impress the women, taking the women to the Jade Catta-Preta show and whatnot. So
you think so? Yeah, you think so, but men still buy probably 80% of the tickets. The ticket sales are still,
interesting.
It's crazy. Like, men go to. It's just a proven thing, unfortunately. Like, more men go out to see comedy than women.
Wow, I didn't know that. I would, especially with all the female comics, I would think that more females would go see female comics just by nature.
No,
it just blew my mind.
Men like going out more, I think, just to drink and be out. I don't want to generalize because
but that's interesting.
Homebody, myself.
I am too.
So like, I'm like, I get that. Yeah. Like, if I could be home watching a movie, like scratching my pubes versus being like watching a comedy show.
We know, Jade, I go to work or I go to theme parks. That's the only time I leave my house. It's work or theme parks.
Yeah. So you play piano at different theme parks. That's your thing.
No. Well, I play I play sometimes at Disney, but I just play piano everywhere. But I go to the theme parks for fun.
Do you guys because I went to Disney with my dad and my boyfriend's dad. We did a dad's weekend. Okay. And I don't think I need to go to Disney again. I think I did.
It's not I'll tell you what. It's not for everybody. And I also think it depends on how you do it. Like, I'm not going to the parks and staying there for 18 hours.
We were there for 14 hours.
Yeah, no, that's like this morning. I went there. Yeah. I got a coffee. I saw a show. I went on a roller coaster. Now we're doing this. I'll take a nap. Then I'll go and see fireworks.
You've already been to Disney?
When you're a local, it's a different experience.
Yeah, I woke up, I went, I came back.
You live in okay, so you guys are in Anaheim.
Well, no, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida, Orlando.
The other one, you go to World.
The other one.
The big one.
The whole world. The whole
world. The world one. I mean, as a kid, I remember loving it, but this one, we got wet after like an hour, and I just was like, I'm gonna get a UTI. I had to rebuy. I'm wearing all Disney shit. I'm like, they got me.
Yep. Yeah. They can get you. That's how it's like, you're now you're soaked. You got to buy a shirt. You got to buy, you're miserable, but you paid all this money to be here. So you're staying.
And I hate standing in line. So I paid for all the like flash things, $400 later. I'm like, we're still in a line. We're just in a shorter line. How do they do this?
It is. This is good at getting people. But what's your process like before going on stage? Do you have like a lot of superstitious things that you do?
I do.
What is it?
I'm
excited. Is it like OCD stuff like myself? Like, is it touch the rail twice with both hands? And I am too. No. I wear a sweatshirt every show. Every show.
Really?
Every show I wear a sweatshirt.
I don't like wearing. I like my armpits to be out because I get like kind of sweaty on stage. So the one thing. My outfit has to be like I can't be tugging and shit before it has to be sitting right. So that's like a big thing. And then I do a breathing thing. I do like a breathing exercise, and then I stand in the Superman thing. Like before shows, I never cross my legs. Never cross my legs because that's like.
Why?
Have you not? There's a TED talk about this. So it's like it's about the way you stand. and like there's a power pose you can do, and like this,
okay.
we're sitting with your legs open. They did a test that like it makes your stress levels lower, and it makes you feel like more in control. When your body's like this, like your brain tells your body like you're not in control, and you need to like so there's like a weird thing of serotonin. Yeah,
I get that. Like you puff your chest up a little bit, and you get that confidence. It's almost I get that.
And I bring my own mic now. It's gross, but I mean, my mic is disgusting, but it's my mic, you know? So I don't share.
I get that.
I don't share mics anymore because after COVID, I would get sick all the time because Bobby puts the mic like in his mouth and in his balls and stuff. And I'm like,
it's so funny. That
it's
is
funny,
changed.
but I just don't want to share it.
No, I don't disagree with you. That's changed every show I do. There's some places where it's very particular. You get your own mic. And then there's some shows where they expect like performers to like we're sharing mics back. And I'm like, we're still doing that? Like, I don't know what's okay.
They don't clean them anymore. They're done. Yeah.
Like, especially now you would think they would.
Strict. No, they forgot, you know, like people want to go back to the rhythm that we were in.
Like it never happened.
So I think any little, like it never happened. But I just think about all the little holes. Like my OCD really flares up if I think about, because I'm always nervous that I'm going to get sick every show. I'm like, I'm going to get sick. So
I'll admit it though. I feel like I would have wanted my own mic pre-COVID just because it's still gross. I would think it's still gross, even pre-COVID. It's almost like when people get too close to you, it's like, I'm not worried about social distance. You're too close pre-COVID. Like move over 3 feet.
And I never thought about it. You know why? Because there was a guy that used to have his own like old school mic, you know, like the square, like the really cool. And he would like do this whole thing where he pulled it. And I was like, fucking this fucking guy. You know what I mean? I'm like, just use the mic.
Use the mic everybody uses. Yes.
Yeah.
You're too good for our mic.
Yeah, that's how.
But now
I was like, all right, okay, you gotta have your own mic. Like your voice sounds different. All right, like so. But now I do it. I've gotten really good at switching it out.
We used to do like the Beatles harmonies where we're both singing on one mic, and that would be like Steve, get your own mic. Like you wouldn't do that anymore. It's so funny. Wow.
Yeah, sharing mics. It's how you catch gonorrhea. I heard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's how you get pink eye. Yeah.
Right. What's your favorite stand-up spot? I try to keep. Well, this one's mine. So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite room tour? That's what I just got one for it. Like it used to be just the metal.
Like this. It's so hard to get these things on.
No. There's one that's literally like a hairnet, like a little hairnet.
Oh yeah.
It's like mask material, and you put it on.
Those are like the ultra thins for mics.
Yeah, they're like little condoms. But I don't want to talk into a little like hairnet mic, so I just bring my own. My favorite room in the entire world is Acme. Acme in Minneapolis is the best Minneapolis room ever.
Is it because you're the only Brazilian for like hundreds of miles?
Minnesota? No.
Well, Minnesota is in Minneapolis.
I'm like Minneapolis, one of those.
Minneapolis is in Minnesota.
Anyway, Acme. Acme's like the best comedy, like road gig you can do. Every show is packed. Yeah. The sound system's amazing. The ceilings are really low. They have a perfect bounce wall. You can really hear yourself. Like
that's good.
It's just a great, great room. And then obviously I'm at the Comedy Store every weekend, and the Laugh Factory. I also really, really, really like the Laugh Factory stage. And I miss the Ice House. It was a club in Pasadena. And it was like all Mexicans because it's in Pasadena, and it's just the best. Mexicans laugh harder than everybody else, and you could like really feel the laughter. Like it was one of those. It was like a physical like, and they didn't let people do late night submissions there because it was like so easy to kill there. So that's how good of a room it was. But it's closed. They've been closed since COVID. So.
You know, I don't think, Gene, that and this is awesome. People don't realize that when you're touring, going room to room is very different, especially when you're going state to state, because you are going to get really specific demographics and regional groups in each room. So you're going to get different laughs on different jokes and to different levels.
Yeah, and it's hard not to adjust. You know, I used to do this thing like, okay, there's a lot of old people here. Like, what? Some diaper jokes? What am I doing? You know what I mean? And then now I'm like, they're here to see me. If they don't like it, like, this is what I do. I can't change it. It's too late.
Yes, but it's nice to get to that level. Too, like, because it sucks when especially when you're starting out. You got XYZ material, and if you're in a room that doesn't like that material, that's your bag of tricks to pull from that night. So if it's not your demographic,
but that's when I go to the audience, like, because I could probably do my whole set just audience work, because I do improv. Great. So it's like I'd rather just like, yeah. So like if you can tell, I can feel when my bits aren't like really working. Sometimes I'll shift a little. Just there's also, I don't know if you guys both do stand up, so that there's this wave sometimes, right? You can really feel the wave. Like if you get out there too fast and you start telling jokes, you're not in their wave, like their rhythm. And so sometimes if you just take a step back and you let it be quiet for a little bit and you can jump back on, it's like double rope, you know, like double ditch. You're like,
yes.
And you do a little audience work, then you can get back on the wave. So it's just about being like very perceptive, like to I think the energy of the room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, talking about being an actress, I know you want to start doing theater and stuff like that. Is there a specific? I got a three-part question. Actor,
I don't want to do
director.
Theater in LA, by the way. I don't want to be a theater actor.
Broadway, just Broadway.
Right? Just Broadway.
Broadway. No, I would like to be in a sitcom again, obviously.
Okay.
Because I want to buy a house, but Broadway, Broadway would be great.
That's sitcom money. So or even movies, right? But who is an actor, an actress, and a director, one of each, that would be like your dream to work with?
Oh my God, Toni Collette is like my number one. Parker Posey, and then Christopher Guest, director. I mean,
very
incredible.
Cool. Yeah.
I would love to be in one of his movies.
Parker Posey, she was she in the Jim Gaffigan show?
No, she was. She's been in all of Christopher Guest movies. She's been in so much stuff.
She was in Dazed and Confused. I remember Dazed and Confused, but she was in a show with a comedian though. I remember she was like one of the leads in a show with a comedian. Who am I thinking of?
Was she? I don't think so. She doesn't do a lot of TV.
This was like cable TV, like Showtime or HBO.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
Look it up. Well, Patty Puddles, you don't have to don't work. You don't have to work. Let Patty Puddles. He's not doing anything.
Patty Puddles.
He's just sitting back there.
Yeah, I don't remember, man.
She was in a show, or am I mistaken her for someone else? I know Parker Posey is, but I feel like she was in the Jim Gaffigan show.
She was in Louis for a little bit.
Might have been.
No, Louis. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Is that what it was?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think she dated Louis.
I think you guys are thinking it. No, you're thinking of Pamela Adlon.
She was Liz in Louis.
No, I know who you're talking about. That was the first Louis show. She's now got a new show now. She was in the first Louis show. Then Louis did another version. I don't think so. Another
Puddles. Look this up.
Puddles will find it all up. He'll tell us.
He'll let us know in a minute. He'll probably put it in the private chat.
I walked into a yoga class, and she was in the yoga class, and I freaked out and I left. I couldn't do it.
It's like I'm
very rarely starstruck, but I like couldn't handle it. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, I gotta go. I'm not gonna be able to enjoy this. Like, I can't. And Toni
yoga
Collette
or hot yoga?
Incredible. It was
yoga or hot
yoga.
Hot yoga. That's where it's at.
But she was probably so flustered it felt like hot yoga when you walked in. It was probably that.
Yeah, she played Liz and Louis in 2012. That's what they said.
There you go. I knew it. I knew it was a show with a stand-up comedian.
You know, that's always fun too, and we get that. You know, it's funny. We're on all different coasts here because I know Orlando's like that too. You could walk into an everyday thing, and there's going to be some level of celebrity there, and you never know if it's going to be
breaking up.
Am I breaking up? Am I clear now?
You're good.
All right. I was gonna say you can walk into anywhere, and there's some level of celebrity there, and it's funny because depending on who it is, you may care or may not care, and you'll see people have meltdowns right in like a supermarket over nothing.
So now the Jaded podcast, is that coming back?
I don't know, man. It's a lot of work. I don't have a Puddles, you know.
Well, we can lend them out.
Perfect. If I could figure out like having a team doing all the editing and the promoting and all that part of it, I would love to do it again. Like actually doing it is the most fun, but
don't edit it. We don't edit ours. Ours just go up the way we record it.
I mean, yeah, but sometimes I get into stuff and I'm like, I really shouldn't have said that shit.
Gotcha.
We get there too. And we just put it out anyway.
You know what?
I should just do it like live. I should just do it live.
Yeah.
Maybe. I was going to say, do not say yes to this. I would normally never say this on air, but if you ever want, we add shows to this network all the time where you literally just have to turn it on. You send the link and everything, and you just have to do it. Yeah. So I'm just throwing it out there.
There you go.
I'm investigating. I have my show coming out. I have my special and my musical coming out. So maybe in September when things are a little
Well, we understand because we talk all the time. It's like you have so many little projects, and then you have to decide how to work the different social media outlets and what goes where, and because that's marketing nowadays.
So much work. It's so much work.
And there's only so many hours.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and there's only so much time, so you have to allocate it wherever it can be allocated and do what you can.
Yeah, I usually have interns, but it's the summer, so
yeah. Damn interns.
Damn it.
So and you have a ton of TV credits. Manhattan Love Story, American Housewife, Californication, on Girl Code, Punked, and you hosted The Soup before pre-COVID. Oh my god, that's so old. We're aging ourselves. American Housewife, is that the one where you did the eye contact? You were when you worked at the school? Was that the one?
Deborah. Okay. Yeah.
So
I love that show. That's like one of the best casts. They're so cool. But I only get to work with the kids, so I didn't really get to work with anybody.
No,
but he grew up like before my eyes. I'm like, are you hot now? Am I allowed to say that?
So I was gonna say is living in that stratosphere of sitcom TV. You mentioned a little bit earlier. That's something where you would like to say, hey, like a 10-year run on a sitcom. That's like, is that like the dream?
And you have no idea how, by the way, people go, oh, like, they don't know what's behind the scenes. Like most shows that are on air right now, I've auditioned for. I've been really like Life in Pieces. I played like a sister, but I was like, up for like the main role, and the other girl got it. And then they gave me like a small role just to be like, sorry, we feel bad for you. But it's a
parting gift.
It's that. Yeah, that's the part that's kind of difficult. Like you see these things go and you're like, what a coulda, shoulda, and you always think the next thing you do is going to be the thing, right? You're like, this is the thing. This is the thing. But I think you learn to kind of like keep yourself even keeled, because otherwise it's like, you just got to keep yourself kind of like, it's cool. It's happening. Like things will come. Like, because otherwise it's a disappointment. I mean, Manhattan Love Story, I thought I made it then. I was a series regular on a show. I moved to New York, like, and that ended before even the season ended.
Yeah.
So.
You got to almost set the auditions and forget that you did them. And then, because you never know which one's going to come back. I can't tell you how many actors we've had on this show where, one of them was like, I auditioned for, I think it was like Walking Dead 15 times. And then finally got called up randomly. And he thought they didn't even like him because they don't tell you.
Wait, and then was it Ross Marquand?
No, I think it was Carlos Navarro.
Carlos Navarro. He actually, did you ever get to see Hawkeye with the
Marvel show?
He was one of the Tracksuit Mafia guys in the Marvel show. He was also on Walking Dead, but he interviewed, but he auditioned like 15 times, and he finally got his role.
And we hear a lot of stories like that.
So much, like so, but like before COVID, I felt like I was like in the running, but now it does feel like you just send it into the abyss. Like it just doesn't even. There's no connection. You don't get to like readjust your choices. Like the whole thing feels very floating. Like. So I just decided to I'll do the auditions that I feel like connected to. But if it's like, I think I got to stop doing like the cops, if I get one more like Gomez audition where I'm like a fucking just a ethnic cop, like I'm not playing a cop,
Yeah.
So
what would be your dream type role? What would be your dream type role in the show?
Like the annoying like Jewish mom type neighbor. Like a weird character.
That's love it.
But yeah, just something, or like a stoner friend, or something funny. I'd love to play like the acid. Like I don't really see myself as the Jerry. I'm more like I walk in like, hey,
you're the Kramer. You're
the
Kramer.
The Kramer.
All right, so we got Hotties coming out. Starts with tomorrow, August 16th.
No, August 16th.
That's what I said, August 16th. Well, no, this is airing
tomorrow.
It will be when it airs. It's going to be tomorrow when it airs. We're gonna release this right before to hype it up.
Yes.
I see.
So this and now everybody sees our big boo boo because we're live, not live, but we air it live.
Well, so sorry.
Jade fired her in. She fired her intern. She didn't realize what date it was. It's the 15th.
And I'll tell you right now, it's a good thing she doesn't have powdery puddles because you would have the date wrong anyway.
Oh, I'm drunk, guys. I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was the 15th.
It is the 15th.
Yes, coming out tomorrow. Very excited. I'm like excited. in love with this show. Like the soup was an incredible opportunity, but I didn't really get to make it mine, and I didn't really get to do all the things because it was just such a heavy brand, you know, like there was a lot of things that we needed to do. And this one, they just let me go. They're just like, go for it. Me and this guy, J. Chris, wrote all the jokes, and just really funny and really, really raunchy, and I love it so much.
What I love about it too is I wish we could have played the trailer on. I just wasn't sure if we might get flagged for copyright, so we couldn't play it. But
you can play the trailer. It's out.
Well, I didn't put it on the thing, so it's out, but I don't know if we'll be able to use it. I didn't put it on because I was afraid to. But we'll definitely share in our on IG and stuff.
Cool.
That's sweet. But I love the fact that they do this. And what is the meter? Because we were trying to say it before. Is it Scoville?
Scoville.
Okay, Scoville.
Scoville.
Now, how legit is some of these foods that they make them eat on the Scoville thing?
Insane.
Like I saw
so like if you think about it, like Tabasco, yeah.
One girl was throwing up on the. You notice we got a delay. That's why I apologize. But the one girl was throwing up outside the truck. Like it seemed intense.
Yeah, it's romantic. The whole thing is like they're on blind dates and they have to like compete to cook a meal. But meanwhile, every 15 minutes there's a heat challenge. And like if you think about Tabasco, like Tabasco's pretty spicy to me. That's 600 on the Scoville heat unit. And we were giving them like 1 million Scoville heat units, like 500,000 Scoville heat units. They were eating like the spiciest combinations. And some people were like, eat the really like chill ones and be like freaking out. And some people would eat the spiciest things and not feel like you just don't know what you're going to get. And I think that's the fun part. Like, you know, people react so differently. And some people were like really bad. And we're like, you know what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Some girl was like, I have a bad stomach. We're like, why are you here?
Not the show for you.
Now, is there any contestants that we're gonna like, male and female? Who are the contestants we're gonna be like, oh wow, this person's spectacular? Because it seems like a very good looking cast.
They're all so hot. I was like, like they all looked cute on Instagram, but then in person, I'm like, everybody is really attractive. There was this one guy who had a Superman tattoo, so like he couldn't be shirtless. We're like, why would you do this to yourself, man?
Oh yeah, copyright.
The copyright, right?
So stupid.
Yeah, like literally the S like across his chest.
They could have blurred it out though, no?
Just wanted his shirt off. No, that's difficult in post to like go back, like blur it out and everything. But yeah, there was like a couple of people that are like still talking from the show, which is exciting. I've made friends with a bunch of people.
You're a matchmaker. You maybe you could be responsible for another generation of hot children.
Yeah, but I mean, I met my boyfriend because he was on a reality show. So, you know,
oh really?
It does work. Yeah, I made fun of him on The Soup. And that's
how you guys met?
That's
great.
Yeah, there's
what reality show was he on?
He was on Temptation Island.
Oh, is that the one where they would get voted off?
It's pretty good.
There was a girl island and a guy island, right? And then they would vote.
No, they were couples. They were couples. They came on as couples, and then different people would come on the show to tempt them out of their relationship.
Okay,
that's right.
Yeah, I remember it now.
Yeah,
it was a guilty pleasure. I wouldn't admit that I watched it as a guy, but
exactly.
I remember watching it.
But he did not tempt anybody, so I got him.
There you go.
I hate dating shows, but I love the way people love dating shows. That's my attraction to the show.
I love dating shows. I love dating shows. Like I cannot get enough. All of them I watch. Like my love, like when I got The Soup, like my love of reality TV was a real legitimate thing. And I think that's the biggest thing that was different about me besides the other, like they were all kind of looking down on the shit. Like, and I'm like, you know, I love it. So I was making fun of it in a different kind of way, you know.
It's entertaining.
I'm making fun of you, but it is.
So you make fun of him on The Soup. I'm sorry, say again?
Yeah. I made fun of him on The Soup. I made some joke. I wanted to make some joke about like how I laser because I'm not a peasant, like some wax joke. And I make fun of how long his armpit hair is, because he's like shirtless on the show. He's like, it's like, oh, it was X on the Peak was like the show that I actually made fun of him on.
Yes.
Originally.
On MTV.
And then they did like, yeah, then they did like, they pulled all the old people from Temptation Island back for this like show. So he does this really douchey thing where he's like, your mom wants me to marry you and you want to bang me or something like really cheesy. And we were like, cool. And then we connected and we've been dating for almost 3 years. So it's pretty crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
So,
but then, yeah.
No, did he reach out to you? Did you like after you made fun of him, or how did the actual meet happen?
It's funny because one of my best friends wrote on the show, Justine Marino, who's an incredible comic, and she ran into my office and was like, you're going to think this guy is so dumb, but you're going to want to fuck him. And I was like, you're right. And then I like invited him to something and he was like, I live in Texas. And I was like, oh, and this, we just started FaceTiming and it was COVID. Like when COVID hit, it was like March of COVID. We started talking, we just FaceTime all day, every day. And I think we kind of got to know each other in a way that we wouldn't, right? You meet someone attractive, you just like, maybe have sex once and you're like, bye, you know?
Yeah. Cross that off the bucket list.
We got to know each other. And yeah. And there's a video, it's like the soup, like how it started. And then it cuts to me like shaving his butthole. It's really cute. I'll send it to you guys.
That's love right there.
I got nothing.
You can bond over strolls to bury the extra person in the three-way, or you can shave buttholes. That's where, right?
Yeah, it was cute. It's really cute. It's like, we're here now. Look at us.
It's magical. It's so magical.
It's soup love is what it is, right? So Hotties, so now do we how many episodes do we have? Like how long is it? What can you tell us more about it as far as the specs of it?
I think we have 8 episodes. We filmed it last year. So we have 8 episodes coming out August 16th. Hopefully more seasons. Gosh, I think it'll do well. I think it's really funny. Like,
the trailer looks hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah, when we voice, because we also like, you get to do it in the moment, right? And it happened really quickly because like the dates are happening in real time. Like I'm commenting on them real time. But then I got to go back and voice over it with every joke that we had been thinking of already. So it's like we got to really, we got to make it like very funny and very weird. And they literally let me do whatever. And most of the heads at HULU are women now. And so it's got definitely like, it's funny, but it's coming from a female perspective, definitely, which is, I think, never happens ever on a dating show. And the concept is just so dumb. I mean,
but that's the funny. That's what makes it good.
It's comfort food. It's comfort TV, right?
It's so dumb. Yeah.
It's not comfort food, but it is comfort TV.
It's spicy food. Now, do the meals that they got to make? Because I know that in between they're actually preparing food. Are any of these people chefs, or they have no idea? So they're all hot chefs.
Yeah, some of them are like some of them are like legitimate, like good at cooking.
Okay,
it's funny. Like, you know, home cooks, nothing professional.
Okay.
But yeah, like some of them could really cook. I mean, all the food was disgusting because, you know, in cooking shows, like you don't get to eat the food until like hours later. It's like all crusty and you're like, is that how you made this? And I'm really, really bad with spicy stuff. And I have a really bad stomach. So I was like, that's good. Like I would barely eat it. But yeah, the food just looks horrible. And I think that's part of the funny aspect of it because they both have to cook the same meal and we give them all the ingredients and we give them like really specific instructions. So if they follow the instructions, they can like get through it. And all the foods have funny names, you know, that are like sexual. So it's funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I love too is the fact that you get to go back and you did your voiceovers on it, because you haven't been in that situation where you're in a conversation and then like 3 hours later, like, oh, I should have said that. It would have been so great. You actually have that ability to do that on the show. So anything you would have thought of later, you just add to the show now. Like we've all been there, right? We've all, do you know how many shows me and Rob have done? And after the show, I'm like, oh, I should have said that. It happens to me literally every show. I'll be like, I should have said it. You can go back and voice over, and it gave me an idea. Rob, I think we should just go back and voice over our own show.
We'll do commentary versions of all these shows where it's just.
I think we need to.
That's what people want, is us more of our voices over the same show.
Maybe we can include Patty Puddles. He doesn't do anything else anyway, right?
Where you go pause. This is what I was actually thinking in the moment that I didn't get to say.
There you go. There we go.
Commentary, like director's commentary.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So Jade, we have a game we like to play at the end of the episode called Lightning Lane, and it's where we ask you 10 rapid fire questions. The first answer off the top of your head, you give us. So you ready to play?
Yeah, but then I'm gonna go back and give you better answers in like a week.
That's
just put them over.
Yeah, well, we'll do like an overdub. It'll be like one of those kung fu movies where the lips don't match the words.
My mouth is moving. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Patty Puddles, run the clip. Why am I on the big screen? Come on, Patty. What are you doing? Jade, I hope you're wearing I hope you were wearing your seatbelt. Have you ever seen graphics? You've been on TV a lot. Have you ever seen graphics like that?
I mean, I was waiting for something to happen. I thought there was going to be like roadkill or like a little animal crossing through being like, get these right. Or you know
what I like though? That's a great idea. Maybe we could have like a little picture of Patty Puddles on the road, Rob, and it hits Patty Puddles and he goes over the. Yeah. I love it.
Well, when we get a budget, I'm going to do a musical number.
There we go. Yeah, we just got to wait for that first check.
I was hoping that we would do a musical, like something with music. That's like, I love that.
Go ahead, sing. Do you sing too?
You got to ask me these questions and I'll answer them.
All right.
What are these dumb questions? Hit me with them today.
All right. First one. You ready? First one. Mm-hmm. What do you do when you can't fall asleep at night?
Smoke weed.
Okay. That usually will do the trick.
This question's perfect after that. Favorite late night snack?
Dates with peanut butter.
Those are good.
Dates?
If you've never done it, I didn't know anybody else who does it. Allie makes them in our house. You put some peanut butter on dates. It's amazing. Amazing.
I'm
trying to be good. I usually don't eat past 9.
Oh, you're really good. I eat all my meals past 9. I eat all my meals.
So when we found out Jade Catta-Preta loves the early bird special, and she the 4 o'clock dinner. Is that what this
is how rumors start?
I'm sorry.
That's literally me. I eat by 6 o'clock. If I could be in bed by 7:30, that would be perfect.
I didn't know.
Great for a comic.
Like 65 years old, Jade. Come on, man. You're young enough.
I literally have to take a nap before my 9 o'clock sets. I'm like, I better take a little tiny nap. You never know.
All right. Are you a cat? Well, we kind of know this answer. Cat person, a dog person? You have a dog, Cheryl, which is like the whitest name ever that you gave a Mexican dog. It's funny.
No, she's Jewish. I took her from a Jewish family, so Cheryl.
You took them? You took her from the family. So this is my dog now. Okay.
Yeah. I stole Cheryl. It's a long story. I don't want to take your questions. Wait, what was the question?
Cat person or dog person? Now, do you like cats too, though?
Yeah, cats are all right. I love animals, so like I'm just a little bit allergic. So I rescued a cat, but now it lives with my dad. My dad has a cat.
I rescued a cat one time, and I got cat scratch disease. I thought it was always like a made up thing. It's a real thing.
Cat scratch fever. Whoa.
Cat scratch disease. It was a little like 2-week-old kitten that scratched me by accident in my front yard. It was a stray. I ended up all of a sudden and the incubation period is like weeks later. So it was like weeks later. All of a sudden, I got this knot. Let me tell you something too.
What's happening right now?
Cat scratch disease is a real thing, my friend. And let me tell you something. All the symptoms. If you look up all the symptoms, you think you have lymphoma. I thought I had lymphoma. I had a big knot in my armpit. A huge knot in my armpit, fevers, chills, and we thought I actually
cat scratch fever.
We thought I had. We went to. We went. We thought that's why we have Cheryl. Me and my wife had to go to the hospital. We thought all the symptoms because if you WebMD things, you see the worst of everything.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
Symptoms, basically it says you have lymphoma. Yeah. Thank God it was cat scratch disease. I
get like a paper scratch. I'm like, I have cancer.
Gene, we don't have to share so much on this show, but
I'm just saying. Listen, all I want to say is I just want to say because this is a great segue into a public service announcement for cat scratch disease. That's the one thing I don't think there's enough talk about cat scratch disease, and I really think it needs to be brought to the attention of people. We need to address it. I'm thinking maybe even putting together a charity walk for it.
Listen, there's so much other stuff right now. There's monkeypox. Okay, your cat scratch. fever shit.
I'll tell you what, compared to cat scratch disease, monkeypox sounds like a lot of fun.
Cat scratch fever.
All right. We're off the rails. Let's go next one.
Jade, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Selena.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, okay.
I thought this was supposed to be lightning. This is the slow.
Yeah, it was, and then cat scratch disease.
I'm sorry. Patty Puddles is, I think, really,
it's his fault this time.
He's screwing it up. What was the last costume you wore for Halloween?
What was I? Oh, we were Ellen and Portia.
Oh, well, cool.
That's great.
Was this with your boyfriend?
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Who was Ellen and who was Portia?
He was Ellen. He was Ellen. I was Portia.
Yes.
He had blonde hair at the time, so we thought it was really funny. I'll send you guys a photo.
What's your favorite food?
My sushi.
Okay, another good one.
What is one interest or hobby that people would be surprised to know you have?
I really like foraging for mushrooms.
Is that true?
I feel like you've been,
yeah.
I can't, like just out and about. Like, is that a mushroom? Like off people's lawns?
Well,
like, how do you know if you can eat them or not?
That's the whole thing that you get good at over time. You have to like study.
Really?
Mycology is like. Yeah, I've just started getting into it. Mycology is like because I got COVID. And I was watching Alone a lot. I love that show Alone. That's my favorite show.
Okay.
And there was this one guy named Biko on there, and he just was like, "You just got to know the land, man. Become one with the land." And he just like would eat mushrooms and all this like weird seaweed shit. And I just was like, "What if I'm stranded out there and I need to live off the land?"
Yes, that's how it starts. I had a friend. Jade, I had a friend that would walk around his block with no shoes on every night because he thought something would happen where he might be barefoot in the future and wanted his feet to be strong enough.
Yeah, you got to get
shoes on.
Get the calluses. Yeah.
I got to say that's
and then Zumba. I'm really into Zumba too.
Zumba, see now, Zumba's normal. Zumba's normal.
No, I love it. I love it.
Okay, Rob,
I have a little basket. I have a little foraging basket, like a little basket that you have to take out. And then I have.
Do you ever get the good ones that you used to put on pizza? You know the ones I'm talking about that you put on pizzas.
Oh, the white ones, the white canned ones.
The ones. No,
are you talking about like magic mushrooms?
Yes, magic mushrooms. Can you just find those out and about?
I guess.
No. Rob, can we agree though? That was the best lightning lane answer of all time. Foraging for mushrooms.
I love it. And that's why I love
top 5 at minimum.
And that's why I love asking that question. All right, let's keep going. What's the craziest thing a heckler ever yelled at you?
I don't get a lot of hecklers, but the craziest thing a heckler ever did was turn her chair around so she just was not facing me for the rest of my set.
Because she was mad? Was it a protest?
Yeah.
She didn't leave. She protested.
Yeah. It was like an old black lady. She was like, fuck this.
Really? Good. All right. Well, all right. What is the most important quality in a significant other to you?
Loyalty. I'm just kidding. A big dick. No, I'm kidding.
I thought you were going to say, lets you shave their butthole. That's what I thought was coming after this. Yeah.
If you're going to date me, you know that's going to happen.
It's somewhere down the road, right?
Get it lasered,
Puddles,
get it waxed.
Patty Puddles, if you guys are ever single at the same time, there you go. Now you know. What is that drink you're drinking? It looks like cement. It's like gray.
If you guys can guess 3 ingredients, let's do that.
I'm gonna say blueberries.
Blueberries. Huh? That's what makes it brown. What else? Rob, you got another ingredient?
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start with this.
I
have a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit in here.
Kale.
Yeah.
Kale.
No.
Oh. No kale. I feel like there's got to be some type of whey protein or something in there.
There's protein. Bing, bing.
Okay. Vegan protein, right?
Vegan protein.
All right. I use vegan protein too. I used to be a vegan a few years ago, and today, not the real day, because we're recording this prior to the 15th. Today, I have actually started my journey to being a vegan again.
I'm vegan during the week, which everybody makes fun of me for, but I do it just during the week, and then on the weekends I cheat.
You know what I do when I have a friend that makes fun of me when I used to be vegan? They used to make fun of me about eating like meat. Oh, you can't get your protein. You know what I do? Because most of my friends, their kids are a lot younger. Mine are grown, but most of my friends, their kids are just because we had ours early.
Grown
so
kids?
like they have like I have a 22-year-old. So if yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
She just graduated.
College. And I have a 20-year-old son. Thank you. So here's what my friends used to bust my balls about being a vegan, right? So you know what I used to do? I would, to their like 8-year-old sons and daughters, I would send clips of what happens in slaughterhouses to their kids, and be like, now you can explain where their dinner came from. There you go. You're welcome.
Stop sharing. Stop sharing on this
That's
episode.
A bit much. I don't know.
Pretty rough.
Jade's made you too comfortable.
No, I do that. I want to raise my kids vegan really bad, but then it's just so hard because the other kids. It's not even about like anything else except like cessation, like them being like, "Why are you eating that?" Or like, "I don't want." They're already going to be weird because they're going to be my kids. So I don't.
When I was a vegan the first time. Well, when I was a vegan the first time, I was only a vegan really for 1 week, and then the other 2 years of being a vegan that time, I was a vegan out of spite. Just a spiteful vegan because everyone would make fun of it. So I'd be like, oh, well, I'm just going to eat this way anyway then. Now
I feel so much better. Yeah, I feel so much better.
I was the healthiest I ever was.
I'm oversharing. Yeah. You feel good, but it's so expensive and it is a lot of work. Like you have to cook everything. Like
you got to eat something each day. It's like no leftovers, no fast food. But
no, exactly. I say that all the time. I'm like, to be vegan, you have to eat leftovers. That's like the only way you survive.
Yeah.
Well, I eat a lot of raw stuff, so that's how I kind of get by. Like everything I eat is just raw for the most part. But all right, back to
a rabbit.
I know. Let's keep going. We're almost done with this lightning lane. That's not very lightning today. What's a big pet peeve you have?
A big pet peeve that I have? I mean, a lot when people like racism. No.
That's a good one. That's a big one.
I don't like when I'm in a group of people and someone is telling a story and they make eye contact with everybody in the room but me, which happens with a lot of comics. Yeah, a lot of comics will like in the green we'll be talking to all of the guys and I'm like the only girl in the room and they won't make eye contact with me. I don't like when people don't make eye contact in general. I'll do that. Mm-hmm. That's a pet peeve. Yeah. Even if you're autistic, I always think like, oh, you hate me. It hits my own insecurities. And then I'm like, why don't you like me? And they're like, oh, they're blind. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess I'll let it slide. They can hear me though. They know what direction I'm in.
Look in my direction. Yeah. Eye contact is a big thing for me.
Okay. All right. So one bonus question that we always ask it. What was the best piece of advice you ever got and who gave it to you?
Kevin Nealon said this to me and it seems really obvious, but don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Hell yeah.
Let the small stuff go.
There you go.
Kevin Nealon always says that to me.
Fantastic. I used to, one of my favorite SNL late night
weekend update
hosts of all time. All right. So before we let you go, Hotties, it's starts tomorrow. 8 episodes.
Tomorrow on Hulu, 8 episodes. Hopefully more. Go check it out. And then August 28th. My comedy special, my 1-hour special called Jaded is dropping at Comedy Helium Live. So like the Helium Comedy YouTube. And it's also going to be on my page in Portuguese. And then on September 1st, my musical, A Jade is a Jade, is dropping on my YouTube. So check that all out. And hopefully it'll be on Spotify and Sirius XM as well. So keep an eye out for that stuff.
So we're gonna make sure we're gonna have the links put into the chat for all that stuff. And if you needed a producer, we're happy to lend out Patty Puddles. Just let us know. Just send it,
just what she wants.
No,
I need Patty.
I wouldn't either.
I want Patty in my life. Wait.
Not this one, not this guy. But anyway, do me a favor, stick around for 2 seconds because we're gonna take a short commercial break. And when we come back, me and Piano Rob are gonna wrap up. But stick around because we'll talk to you off when we finish. Guys, we're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Cute. Well, Winnie the Cute. Rawr, Jurassic Cute. You're not trash. You're cute. This is Sammy. Sammy loves Disney ears. She loves ears so much, she makes her own. Yeah, 3D ears. Want to see her do it? Let's check it out. Here she's making bows. Here she also makes ears. And sometimes she makes ears with bows. Any kind you want. People have been seeing her with her ears and they're saying, hey, can I get me some ears? Pow, yeah you can. Here you go. Now Sammy's making ears for any occasions. Ears for dogs, ears for spooky stuff, you name it. Ears for any occasion. And it's all happening at JSA Creations. JSA Creations. Just ask for Sammy.
Fantastic show and fantastic guest. Super, super funny. Guys, make sure you go check out Hotties on Hulu. Starts tomorrow. And you already heard all the other stuff. The musical, the comedy special. So make sure you guys look into that. We're having everything put into the links in the chat below. So Rob, my man, we're gonna check out your Facebook. So if we're in town, we know where to come see you.
Yeah, right? You can do that. Yeah.
What the echo?
Sorry, man. I was sorry, man.
You get a little fancy sometimes. So guys, let's do some thank you. Oh, well, yeah, let's go check out the TikToks, the reels over at Piano Rob on Instagram and on TikTok. Check him out on Facebook so you can find out where he's performing when you're in town. And let's thank our mods for making the chat fun, friendly, safe. Let's thank our chat for showing up and hanging out with us today. And let's thank our subscribers for taking this journey with us. We also want to thank Patty Puddles on the other side of the glass. Not too many problems today, but maybe some.
Oh, stop! He did great. He did great.
And a big thank you to Jade Catta-Preta. Check out the show tomorrow. It starts tomorrow on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, I don't know who doesn't have Hulu nowadays. Go get it. But go check it out. And with that, play us out a little bit.
I had this song in my head.
There you go.
Hey, Jaded, you got your mama's style, but you're yesterday's child to me. So jaded.
There you go. Guys, go check her out. And again, have a great today, a better tomorrow, and we'll see you next time.